So here we are at Index Ventures lunch, where there's a lot of schmoozery going on here. A lot of companies talking to reporters and Silicon Valley people about their various efforts. Enjoyed a lovely meal. Now, schmooze time, as per usual in Silicon Valley. All right, this is Mahi from Frengo. Just 2 seconds. Tell me what it does. Not two.
So, for example, like with the Barry Bonds contest, you get to wager when Barry's going to hit the next home run,
right?
As well as like under what circumstances would he hit the record-breaking home run.
Ah, interesting. And then what does it go to people's mobile phones?
It goes to people's mobile phone or the web,
right?
And you get to send it in, via SMS.
Mm-hmm.
And we send you sort of related, interesting tidbits of information about, what's Barry doing.
Yesterday at Yahoo's annual meeting, Terry Semel kept saying mobile, mobile, mobile. I mean, do you really? I mean, in the U.S. it's not as big a deal, but what's going to break through the mobile market here?
So, our context is like I ran the mobile business at VeriSign, and what we...
Hold on. Go ahead.
So, what we figured out is that, the U.S. carriers needed help building up their infrastructure and making it sort of peers of their European and Asian counterparts. But the U.S. has really come on. Like, we are now the second largest SMS sender in the world.
Right.
Where, people thought that SMS would never catch up in the U.S.
Right.
And so we're very bullish on in general.
What do you think of the iPhone?
We love it.
Love it?
And we're actually looking at developing something on top of that around this concept of...
You think that's going to energize the phone market?
It already has.
Yeah,
right,
but nobody has one, except for Walt and some other people.
Right, but, and I think that it'll be like the first generation iPod. It'll have some issues with it, but the third generation one, everyone will love.
Great.
So, I personally think it'll be a great device.
Great, thanks, Mahi. All right, introduce yourself.
I'm Alex Rampell from TrialPay.
And tell me what you guys do.
So we provide an alternative way of paying for things. So, for example, very few people, as I just said, will pay for Zagat, which costs $19.99 a year online. But the same people, a bad customer to Zagat is a great customer to Gap.
Right.
Or a great customer to Wine.com. Or maybe a fantastic customer to American Express. So what we do is we allow people to pay for one thing like Zagat by trying or buying something else. So
I see.
Like Blockbuster Online.
So like coupons in a way.
A little bit different in terms of like they're getting it for free. So you're getting XYZ, you're getting Zagat for free by signing up for Blockbuster Online. And the way that works economically is that Blockbuster Online has a much higher lifetime value to the customer.
Right.
They're charging you $20 a month. Zagat is $20 a year. So Blockbuster might be willing to pay $40.
You're like the oil. You're the broker. You're like a broker.
We're kind of like a broker. We're kind of like PayPal for people who will not pay. So, and actually most people will not pay.
That's a really
online.
compelling motto.
But most people don't pay.
Right.
If you look at shopping carts, the majority of people that actually complete a shopping cart or actually fill out a shopping cart online just abandon it.
Wow,
it's like
I've done that like a lot.
It's like going
That's
to
me. That's all me doing that.
Well, it's like going to Safeway, and then you're in the checkout line, you have like a million things in your cart, and then you just run out the store.
I've done that many times.
Okay, that's not as regular. But,
all right.
So kind of what we do is we allow people to pay by trying something new.
Cool. Great. Terrific. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
So introduce yourself, Moo Guy.
I'm Richard Moritz. I'm the founder and CEO of Moo.
And explain. These are
just tiny little business cards that anyone who has a Flickr account or a Photolog account or a Second Life account or an Evo account can go online.
Turn it over and shows it's their little...
They can add their contact information. In this case, I put my boring business details on, but you could put on the URL of the photo on the other side. You could put on your Instant Messenger.
And say a box can cost what, $20?
It's $20. Wow. And it's a global delivery for $5.
Wow. Wow. And so it's kind of an analog company using digital tools.
It absolutely is. We're a kind of technology-enabled business. So we're a very old idea that we've applied to really, really new, different kind of online communities.
And who's buying these? I mean, you could do pretty much anything, right?
A lot of women. A lot of very crafty people that are taking them and using them as different things. So
like what? What's crafty? I love that word.
What crafty?
I love having Europeans here.
Someone made a photo lamp, which was amazing. They took
Right.
100 different cards and they clipped them together and they stuck a light bulb underneath, so they have a photo lamp now.
Wow.
They use them as gift tags,
Uh-huh.
greeting cards, thank you notes,
Right.
invites to parties.
Right. So do you feel uncomfortable being in Silicon Valley, which is so techy, when you have such a non-techy business at the very end of it?
No, I think the more environment is kind of conducive to virtual communication,
Right.
the more they're delighted by the fact that someone has a physical product that they can actually hand out in the bar.
Wow.
I mean, it's easier for me to kind of say to someone, this is what I do, and show it to them,
Right.
than it would be to say, oh, I have a website and we do this stuff and blah, blah, blah.
Well, great. Thank you so much, Richard. That's
Thank you.
cool. Bye. Start. This is the other Reimer, Neil Reimer, who's like the bigwig at Index Ventures. Neil, you told a really funny story about Europe versus Silicon Valley. I'd like to sort of get your thoughts on being here in the center of it all.
Yeah, so I was at this conference earlier this week, and we were talking about international venture capital and whether Europe and Asia made sense, or whether everything should just be focused on Silicon Valley. And I overheard somebody saying, what Europe really needs is a Skype.
Ah! Which was based in Estonia, and where else were they from?
Well, Skype is really a typical European story in that the founders are a Swede and a Dane.
Right.
The business was actually domiciled in Luxembourg, and the developers were all in Estonia, and the office that we helped them open was in London.
Right. So now, why are you here then in Silicon Valley?
So we're here for really two reasons. A lot of our companies, when they become successful, end up dragging us over here because
Right.
If you're in the semiconductor business or enterprise software, you're logically going to have a center of gravity over here.
Right.
So we start to move here with our companies.
Right.
We also make some investments in U.S. companies with
Right.
entrepreneurs we've known for a long time.
And where do you see the state of, I talked to Danny, I did a piece on Danny earlier today about his focus on global. Do you think Silicon Valley has a global focus?
I think Silicon Valley has a global focus, but I'd argue that they're doing it in a slightly different way than the way we do it. I think Silicon Valley focuses on companies that are born in Silicon Valley that can have very strong value propositions, and then they'll say, let's first dominate the U.S. market, and then we'll name somebody to go international. We'll call
Right.
it VP International, and we'll become the dominant player.
Right. So it's usually just porting U.S. companies, a version of the U.S. company.
Exactly. Versus people who are in Europe who think about their business as a global business from day one.
Right.
And will architect and make choices.
Right. Which is
on
what
that
you're doing with
basis.
Juice. That's your big investment right now.
Juiced is a new one, yeah.
Yeah.
But also NetLog and NetVibes. These are all
Right.
businesses, last I found,
Right.
businesses that think of themselves as global businesses from day one.
Great. Thanks a lot, Neil.
Thank you.